Oh, look at me. I'm dressed as a whole entire merch plug for my sister again. Is anything new anymore? Nope. Now I'm a merch plug for EDC. If you're going to Electric Daisy Carnival this year, I will 100% see you there. There was a lot of positive responses, and I think I got a lot of people thinking deep in my last video. So this time we're going to be looking at some questions to ask yourself if you're unsure about your relationship. It's weird because I did not plan on gearing this channel in the direction of a sort of dating life expert thing, and to be honest with you, I don't plan on doing that. I've had a few relationships go correctly, and then they just didn't work out, and that's okay. And I've had a few go horribly wrong, and that sucks. That's really tough. So now I'm in this weird position where I'm like, when am I going to be ready again? Who knows? It's not going to be for a while. So for those of you out there who are in relationships and are pretty comfortable and things are going all right, here's some questions that you can ask yourself if you are kind of in this weird gray area. I've been there before myself, and I sort of wish I had something like this. I really needed somebody to talk to and slap some sense into me, so to speak, with these hard hitting questions and really think about it. I'll give you some time while I elaborate on how I feel about it too. If someone told you you're a lot like your partner, would this be a compliment to you? So, if you're dating somebody that you know is maybe not the best person and you're just dating them for looks or something, I could see this being one of those, oh, geez, I don't know. But if you're pretty comfortable with where you're at and your partner's a good person, they treat you well, I think that this one should be fairly easy. There's not a whole lot that goes into this, but if you're thinking about it really deep, you might be thinking to yourself, oh man, I don't know if I can get over the whole thing where she likes to commit arson and key cars every time we go out and get a cider. I don't know if that's really my thing. Are you truly fulfilled or just less lonely? This is a big one for me personally because I have gotten into them before where it's not a matter of I like this person just that much. I'm just so lonely. And that's a big problem you need to figure out in yourself before you get into a relationship. And I wish someone would have told me that before. I don't want to hear it. I I can hear the two or three people out there that are like, I told you that. Shut up. This is not your channel. I made my mistakes. Now let me try and help some other people. Okay. And really, think about this. Are you really fulfilled? Do they bring everything to the table that you want? It doesn't have to be completely everything. There can be some, like, oh, some things that are like minor that they could change, Lying and cheating is not one of them. If you're dating someone that's doing that, you're done. You're done. It's just bleeding out at this point. Stop. But if it's something like, oh, I don't like the way that she says oopsie every time she hits a curb, that can eventually be fixed. That's not that bad. Or if he is doing nothing but playing Fortnite for 25 hours a day, that's something that can be fixed. That can be talked about. So why not speak about them? And then you can understand if you're with someone that you're actually supposed to be with. Let me also preface there's a difference between being alone and being lonely. Just because you're alone doesn't mean you're lonely. You could be alone 24 hours a day and not be lonely if you're surrounded by things that you're doing in your life that bring you happiness. When I'm at the gym, I'm alone. I'm not lonely. I got the weights to keep me company because we're getting yoked. And also, if you're with other people, you can be alone in that aspect too. What do I mean by that? Because that's a weird thing to say. It doesn't really make sense. If you're sitting there having a mental battle and everyone around you just kind of hanging out and they don't know what's going on in your mind, I would consider that alone as well. If maybe you're sitting there having some emotional turmoil and you don't know how to work through it, but you're staying quiet about it, I'd consider that being alone. I've been in loud, noisy places with a ton of happy people and just been like, so try your best to figure out the difference between alone and lonely. You can do it. Are you able to be unapologetically yourself, or do you feel the need to show up differently to please your partner? If you're with someone and you're pretending to be a version of yourself that you know you aren't really, you need to stop and think critically about where you're at. If you know that this person is just not it and you have to fake being something else, then maybe it's time to reevaluate who you're with. It's okay to get to that point. It's okay to realize that what you're doing is fake to yourself. You're lying to yourself. that makes you a liar. So you need to critically evaluate who you are and where you're at. And then, going back to my last video, you need to be honest. You need to be honest immediately. I don't care how much it might hurt them, because as soon as you say that and you're honest with them, that'll suck. That'll absolutely suck. And that'll kind of tear down some things that they thought about you. But you know what? I guarantee you, and anyone who has been honest in this way before, and it's happened to me before, months down the road, they will reach back out to you. It could be weeks down the road. They'll be like, thank you. Thank you so much for telling me that, because I actually had some things I had to figure out myself. But more than that, have you, if they want to reach back out and this kind of thing, they could be like, have you changed at all? Have you built anything about yourself that's different? Do you still feel the same? You do? Okay, then great. I'm glad. I just want to clarify, but thank you for being honest with me. That goes a longer way than anything I've seen in any relationships. It's just the honesty aspect. Are you in love with who your partner is right now as a whole, or are you only in love with their potential or the idea of them? I have a hard time deciphering this one. I usually just love someone with my whole self. From there, I'm like, is it going to work or is it not? Well, I'm going to put everything I can into this, because at the end of the day, if it doesn't work, I can look at myself and be like, I tried. I 100% tried. I mean, you have your faults still here and there. I'm still learning how to be an effective communicator to this day, to this hour. But with the potential, if you're dating someone for their potential, that's a little weird, but I guess that can make sense in some ways. If you just have a thing for doctors, so you're dating someone in med school, okay. I don't get it, but all right. And as for the idea of them, if that's a thing where you're dating someone because they are that attractive and you think they're a 10, okay, but that's not good at all. They're going to age one day, right? Just like you. I mean, I feel like I'm going to look like this till I'm like 70, you know what I'm saying? But they're going to age, and so are you. So why would you're not going to get married for looks only. If you are, you're very fickle. You have to be fickle. So just realize that you can't just date an idea of somebody. You have to date somebody. You have to date someone. You're in a relationship with another human being with their own thoughts and feelings and emotions. You can't just fake that. You're not just getting married to someone's butt or someone's tits or like someone's face. It's them. It's them as a whole. I don't get why that's difficult for people, but I'm in it for the long term. I'm not in it for the short games. So, would you want your future or imagined child to date someone like your partner? That's a big one. Usually the prerequisite to that, at least in my mind, is, would I want my daughter to date someone like me? My answer to that may be different than yours. Mine 5-6 years ago was maybe not. He's got some stuff to figure out. I mean, he treats her well, but he's still too young, like mentally. Now, God, I can only hope. But you're not going to meet me on Tinder. Sorry. Not sorry. If you're trying to figure out if you're unsure about your relationship, that may be a question for you. Because sometimes it does help to think about, would someone else date your partner? And if you're in the younger crowd, maybe don't ask your friends that, because they're going to answer it based off of looks. Like, yeah, he's hot. Sure, I would. That's not what you're asking. So you have to imagine someone that knows your partner as well as you do, inside and out, who knows everything about them, who sees them at their worst when they're taking a dump and the door's open in there and they're being goofs on their phone and they're showing you the dumbest TikToks, but you still love them for it all. Imagine someone that knows them on that level. Would they date them? That's a question you need to ask yourself sometimes too. We're keeping it a little shorter today. I'd like to start cranking these out maybe once a day, once every 2 days. This long form content's kind of a pain, but I won't have access to the camera, the microphone, the laptop, the system, and all this stuff over the next few weeks because I'm going to be back at college. So my camera quality may start getting a little worse. It'll still be, vlogging material. It won't be that bad. I still got a mic, thank God. Shout out to my family for that. But yeah, if you enjoy this kind of content, stick around. Maybe I'll make something else for you sometime. And I'm going to try to expand into the more creativity stuff. But if I can offer my 2 cents and my wisdom on certain things, I'll keep doing it if you guys like it. If there's anything else that I could talk about and you guys think would be interesting, let me know down in the comments. Shoot me a like. Tell me what you think about everything. I need some feedback, really. This is really early on, but I need some feedback. I need to know how I'm doing. So let's stay slim thick, okay? See you.